I do not own the rights to this music.
Have you any river, Lord Jesus, that you can't tunnel through? God specializes in things that you think are impossible. He can do. No other can do.
Hello, and welcome to Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron. Sunday School lesson for Sunday, July the 24th, 2022. Our reference material for the Sunday School Summary is based upon the International Sunday School Lesson Series as published by the Sunday School Publishing Board. We are discussing Partners in a New Creation as the title of the Summer Lesson Series, and it focuses on how the believer can be partners with the ever-present Spirit of God through reconciliation, recreation, and rightly restoration of our relationship with God and His eternal reign. The Partners in Creation lesson series is categorized into 3 units or groups of lessons. In Unit 1, we talked about God delivers and restores. And in Unit 2, we're talking about the Word, the agent of creation. And of course, that Word is Jesus Christ. Now, the Word, the agent of creation, discusses how the creating Word is at work in and with humanity, how it became flesh and showed the way to eternal life through the true light of Jesus Christ. The title of our 4th lesson in the Unit 2 Summer Lesson Series is titled Conquering the Ultimate Enemy, and that ultimate enemy is death. Either physical death or spiritual death. And the key verse comes from John chapter 11, verses 25 through 26, which reads as follows. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believeth in me shall never die. Believe thou this. Now, the background to today's lesson, the title is Conquering the Ultimate Enemy. And the background is a continuation of our study of the book of John on the ministry of Jesus, the signs and evidence of his deity leading up to the crucifixion of Jesus. The lesson begins by introducing the reader to a man named Lazarus, along with his sisters Mary and Martha. The family lived in Bethany and were friends and followers of Jesus, as evidenced by Mary, who had poured oil with a nice smell over the feet of Jesus and cleaned his feet with her hair. Now Lazarus became ill, and the sisters sent a message to Jesus to say, Lord, the friend that you love is ill. So they were hoping for a miracle of healing him before he died. Jesus heard the news that Lazarus was ill, and he responded by saying that the illness would not be Lazarus' death. And Jesus stayed where he was for 2 more days. And he decided to return to Judea. And the disciples reminded Jesus that the Jewish authorities had already attempted to stone him. But Jesus clarified to his disciples that Lazarus had died and that he would go to Bethany to wake him. But the disciples did not understand because they thought Jesus meant that he was merely sleeping. But Jesus clarified that Lazarus had died and he was going to Bethany to raise him from the dead. Which brings us to today's lesson. There are 3 summary lesson points for today. A testimony of trust from John chapter 11, verses 17 through 24. Deity confirmed from John chapter 11, verses 25 through 27. An unexpected miracle from John chapter 11, verses 38 through 44. The passages for the lesson today revolve around the key words of faith, eternal life, resurrection, and deity. Now, we know that faith is a complete trust, assurance, or confidence, as Jesus speaks of having faith in God. Eternal life is life after death, or a state of existence based on faith in Jesus Christ and sustained by God, in which a person enters into a permanent, unending relationship or fellowship with God, which is what Jesus offers Martha in today's lesson. Now, resurrection is the raising again to life from the dead, and Lazarus in today's lesson and all of the humans who have died before the day of the final judgment will be resurrected according to the Bible. Now, deity is God, the creator or supreme being, and Jesus proclaims his divinity in today's lesson based upon his relationship with the Father at creation and through eternity. A testimony of trust is from John chapter 11, verses 17 through 24, which is our first summary point. And in these passages, John discusses the death and burial of Lazarus and the friends who have come to comfort Mary and Martha. Now, Jesus arrived back in Bethany and discovered that Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. So Mary and the Jews, Mary and many of the Jews who came to comfort them because they wanted to help Mary and Martha through their ordeal. So Martha heard the news that Jesus was coming and she ran out to meet Jesus, but Mary stayed in the house. And Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." So Martha did not recognize the power of Jesus. She had seen him heal people, but she had not seen him raise people from the dead. So Martha said, "But even now I know that God will answer you. He will do whatever you ask him." And Jesus told her that her brother would rise and live again. But Martha did not understand, because her understanding was that he would rise again at the resurrection. She did not expect Jesus to raise him from the dead in the present time. So deity is confirmed in the second summary point from John chapter 11, 25 through 27. So Jesus' deity is confirmed by the acts that he is performing, because the acts that he is performing only God can perform. And in these passages, Jesus confirms his identity. He tells Martha, "I have authority over death." He says, "I raise people from the dead and I give people true life. Anyone believes in me will live. Even if that person dies, he will continue to live." So Jesus was talking about a physical death as well, but in our times, we may be dealing with a spiritual death, and we can be resurrected in a new spiritual life with Jesus. Now, the people who live because they will never die, and he says you should believe that. So Martha answered, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, that you're God's son that was sent into the world." So Martha's faith was strong. She acknowledged that her faith that Jesus was the Messiah, but she did not understand the power of God working through Jesus. And which brings us to the third and final summary point today, an unexpected miracle from John chapter 11, verses 38 through 44. And in these passages, Jesus delivers an exhortation to the faith on the power of prayer while raising Lazarus from the dead. Now, Jesus arrived at the tomb with all of the followers following him from the funeral at Mary's house, or the mourning at Mary and Martha's house. And Jesus commanded them to roll the stone away. Martha protested because she said that Lazarus had been dead for 4 days and the body was decomposing and he probably was powerful stinking. Jesus said to her that I told you that you must believe in me, or she should have faith as we should have faith in Jesus Christ. And he says, then you will see how great and powerful God is. So sometimes we have to sit back and let God work with us, through us, and in us so that we can see how powerful our God is. So the stone was rolled away. And when the stone was rolled away, Jesus prayed. He says, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And he says, I know that you hear me always when I pray. But he says that my prayer is to help those who are standing here who do not believe. And when Jesus said these words, he shouted with a loud voice, Lazarus, come out. So he was speaking specifically to the dead Lazarus and not to the dead people in general. And when he said that, Lazarus came out and he still had his burial clothes on. And he says, undo the clothes and let him go. So that was the evidence again of the power of God and the miracles that he could perform based upon the power of the Father. Those are the 3 summary lesson points for Sunday, July 24th, 2022. A testimony of trust from John 11:17 through 24. Deity confirmed, John 11:25 through 27. An unexpected miracle from John 11:38 through 44. This is Brother Ron with the Sunday School Summary for Sunday, July 24th, 2022. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed week, and we hope to see you next Sunday for another edition of Sunday School Summary with Brother Ron.